1 result show. Week one. You got your phone ready?
Mm, yeah.
We'll get to that. So, week one. We're gonna address some things. What you got? Oh, um,
Okay.
we're gonna address some things from the week one results. Let's start off with the winners. The winners this week were, and I was gonna start with myself because I'm the first one on the list here.
Mm.
Fire Pit Fumblers.
Wait. You guys didn't hear that name.
The winners. Yeah, let's start with that. Somebody's on the injury list this week. They're questionable for the next week's game. The injury. Uh, so, we have the winners: Fire Pit Fumbler, Booty Sweat, Chiefs Texans, aka Getting Right, Riley Loves Sheer, aka I'm Injured.
It
Oh,
It really doesn't say.
it's Sorry Miss Jackson. So those are the week one winners. 5 winners, 5 losers. Is it 5? Is it 5? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Most points scored this week. Booty Sweat. Booty Sweat scored 545.93 points. Lowest points scored was I Like Honey Buns, 262.89.
I like honey buns too.
The biggest blowout of the week was Booty Sweat over Wipe the Booty Sweat, 545.93 to 408.26, which was 137.67 more points. So Booty Sweat didn't wipe his booty, I guess, or wiped his booty, however you want to say that. Smallest margin of victory: Riley Love Sheer versus Team Waller, 430.19 over 416.91, which is 13.28, which is the difference in that, not even 14-point difference. So those are the results of this week. We will go right into the biggest elephant in the room based on those wins. Kicker points update. We had an issue with the kicker points, as we all know. We had to make a real time and real life adjustment, which the ridiculous points that were going on. Somebody had 200 points from a kicker. We had to adjust that.
It's not how it's supposed to be.
These scores would have been different, but kickers are not supposed to score 200 points.
They sure ain't.
If you don't like
Kickers suck. Newsflash.
Kickers suck. If you don't like the fact that I made the change in the middle of the games are ongoing, no games were final. The results and the outcomes were different, but in reality, in all fair play, the kicker points need to be adjusted.
Life changes. That's a life lesson. Get used to it.
Get used to it. If the playoffs were to start today, Booty Sweat versus Fire Pit Fumbler, and Chiefs Texans, aka Getting It Right, versus Riley Love Sheer. That would be the 4 teams that will be in the playoffs as of today. That means that Sorry Miss Jackson will be on the outside looking in 5th place at this time.
Unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate. But he would miss out on the playoffs if they started today. But they do not. This is not a marathon. This is a marathon, not a sprint. That's what I meant to say.
It's football.
It is football. So we're going to go over a couple of the records this week. I'm going to read through these real quickly. Because really, I got to get it homework done. I got to go cook. So everybody, wins. This is the biggest, most wins in the season is 15. Team Waller had 15 wins last season. It's an all-time record.
Winning streak is over.
The winning streak is over. Let's go back and address that. I'm so sorry. I kind of skimmed over the fact that
the uneven drum roll is because of my splint.
So yes, Fire Pit beat I Like Honey Buns. Booty Sweat beat Oh wait, why does it say that? Oh, never mind. Booty Sweat beat Wipe Your Booty. Um, Chiefs Texans, aka Getting It Right, beat Donnie's Chiefs. Riley Love Shear took down the defending champ Waller, which is again the rematch from the championship game. And then Royal Shocker took a loss to Sorry Miss Jackson. The rookie took their first win this week. Next week's matchups, we got Fire Pit Fumbler versus Sorry Miss Jackson. You beat the wife. Now you're gonna face the husband. See how that turned out for you. Booty Sweat versus Chiefs Texans, aka Can't Get Right. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I Don't Like Cheer versus Riley Loves Cheer.
I said say though. Relax.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear what you said. You got something to say about it?
Yeah, I wanted to do. Actually, you did the others.
Okay. Donnie's Chiefs versus Royal Shocker. Can her dad beat her? Daughter daddy game. I Like Honey Buns versus Team Waller. He like Honey Buns and Waller. They both lost last week, so we'll see. There will be a winner from there. Donnie's Chiefs and Royal Shocker both lost last week, so there'll be a winner there. And then Fire Pit and Sorry Miss Jackson both won, so one of them will take their first loss. Booty Sweat and Chiefs Texans, one of them will take their first loss. And let's address the name change. Why you got that face?
Okay. So first of all, behind the name is this little emoji. Okay.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Now, if y'all go to the league, y'all look at that emoji. That is gymnastics. First of all, it's very disrespectful. First of all. Second off, I don't care. You don't like cheer. That's an opinion. I don't care. Is that supposed to be a threat? Oh, that made me laugh. Ha 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 ha
ha. She said. Okay. All right. So that was interesting. It's not even it's a gymnastics and not an actual cheer move, huh?
Yes, look at that. Do you see it?
I see it. I'm just commenting on what you said. You take that personal, huh?
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
Okay.
Now,
somebody said diabolical.
It is diabolical. There was this one time in 5th grade, right? And this random person that knew nothing about cheer or gymnastics was like, they're basically the same sport. They're not.
They're not. Okay.
They're very different.
Okay.
And also, there's a difference between cheerleading and cheer. That's a different story for a different time.
Different story for a different time. All right. All right, so back to the record books. That was pretty good. I like that. All-time most wins, 15, with Team Waller in 2013. Longest winning streak, Team Waller in 2013 had 9 wins. Most losses in its all-time, 13. Arrowhead and Donnie Chiefs in 2022. Longest streak all-time is bye week, which was a bye team back in 2018. Most margins of victory. The largest margin of victory, of course, we've already discussed that this week. All-time biggest margin of victory is 350 points. Balls Deep beat bye week in week 1 of 2018. The average all-time is 180 by Lincoln Park. Lido's was on the pain. Smallest margin of victory all time was Royal Shocker over I Like Honey Buns back in 2019. It was only 0.48 points. The average all time. Royal Shocker beat I Like Honey Buns back in 2019. About 0.48. Not even a half point. All time smallest margin of victory, 2023, 36.9 was the one was a single one. The other one was an all-time average. Sorry. Margin of defeat, the largest margin of defeat. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I scrolled down. Sorry. Strength of schedule. Right now, the strength of schedule goes to I Don't Like Cheer, which, of course, the points that they had to face against this past week with Booty Sweat. And, of course, in 2023, Booty Sweat has a weekly average all-time of 442 points. Strength of schedule, I'm sorry. Strength of schedule easiest this week was Fire Pit with 262 points. All-time I Like Honey Buns in season 2019 with 295 points. Team points. Let's see here. This week we already talked about the most points. The single week all-time record is Team Waller versus Donnie Chiefs in week 12 of 2020 with 633 points. The average Booty Sweat this week has that record. All-time season record 2020. Team Waller had 7,446 points. The least amount of points all-time single week was bye week, which we're going to go over that. The season all-time record was set this week with 262 points from I Like Honey Buns. Most points scored. Offensive points most scored in single week this week was 266.9 by Chiefs Texans over Donnie's Chiefs. All-time record for that is fourth. This is again offense only. 462.68. Team win a lot, beat bad week for you. They're no longer in the league anymore. The average, season all-time season record is Team Waller 4,777 points on offense only. That's the all-time record in 2020. The least amount of points on offense this past week was 146.24 by Donnie's Chiefs. The all-time record was set with that 146 by Donnie's Chiefs. That's the least amount of offensive points scored.
It's kind of disappointing.
Kicking points. The most points scored by a kicker this week, which would have been crazy if we'd left the kicker points the same. It was clearly not going to be this number. Was this week by Booty Sweat with 42.72 points. Of course, that's the single season record. And then the all-time season record by a kicker is Riley LaShear, 2023. He had 210 points in the all-time record.
That's my name.
That's your name. Least amount of kicker points this past week was Royal Shocker, 5.96 against Miss Jackson. The single season record is held by two people. Negative 10 points by the kicker, Team Waller and I Like Honey Buns back in 2022. The all-time season was least amount of points for a kicker is 5 by Royal Shocker in 2024. Oh, that was this year. That was this one right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you saw the record there. Defensive points. This week, most defensive points scored was Riley LaShear with 239.33 points. And that's kind of the reason why you beat him.
Oh, yeah. My defense was really good.
And then the average, the season average, of course, is that amount. The all-time record is I Like Honey Buns with 1,695 points for the most defensive points scored last year. Least amount of defensive points scored this week was I Like Honey Buns versus Fire Pit, which only scored 28, which is kind of the reason why I won. The all-time record, we're not going to go over that person out of the league anymore. So that 28 points sets the all-time record. It's the lowest points we ever had. Defensive players points was 93 by Chiefs Texans. I'm sorry. They set the all-time record and the season average record all this week with 93 defensive points. The least amount of points, Riley LaShear this week with 14.5 set the record this past week. 14.5 points from your defensive players. Yeah, then we have to update that. It's not good.
Oh, it's not?
The least amount of points from defense. If you have more points, you would have won by a bigger number. Defensive players.
I didn't to say, I just heard my name. It's a record.
Points from the drafted players. Booty Sweat had the most points this week. All their players that they drafted participated in one. All-time record, Royal Shocker 2022 had 5,823 points from the drafted players. The least amount of points from the drafted players this week was Donnie's Chiefs. 143.34 points came from their players that they actually drafted this week. All-time record is 0. The season record for players drafted, of course, is set this week by 143. That's the lowest we've ever had. Points from post-draft acquisitions. Donnie's Chiefs, of course, had the most because he didn't have that many people he drafted to score points. So all the people he acquired scored 179 points, 180 points, basically. And that set, no, they did not set the season record, all-time record. The season all-time record is going to be 3,283 points, which he's headed that way. Least amount of points acquired from the drafted players, I like Honey Buns, 12.5 points. He picked up the spot and he got 12.5 points. That did set the all-time record, lowest points scored. And then we're going to go over to the last categories here. Team statistics. Touchdowns. Most touchdowns scored this week was 8 by Team Waller. 8 touchdowns. The all-time record is held by a person at 15. Somebody's not in the league anymore. The all-time season record for most touchdowns was 134 by Royal Shocker in 2020. The least amount of touchdowns scored this past week, there was 3 teams that tied, which I don't know how you fell in this category. Riley Lake Shear, Miss Jackson, and Royal Shocker only have 3 touchdowns. So that low-scoring game between Royal Shocker and Miss Jackson only had 6 total touchdowns scored between the two of them. So that's crazy. And that set the all-time record of 3. Passing yards. This past week, Chiefs Texans had 550 passing yards. And the most ever was 2021 for the season was 9,774 yards passing by Roy's remarkable team. 2021. The least amount of passing yards this week was 326. But Donnie's Chiefs had that. The all-time is 0 set by week. Most rushing yards, 255 rushing yards on their team, and that came from Booty Sweat this past week.
I gotta say it like that.
Booty Sweat. The least amount of rushing yards, Royal Shocker had 38 rushing yards this week. Kind of contributes to why she may have lost. That also set the all-time season of rushing yards.
So rushing yards isn't good?
You want to have rushing yards, yes, but she didn't have very many.
Oh.
You need more. Clearly she needed more, that's why she lost.
Don't do my mama.
Receiving yards. This is, again, another stat why she lost. She only had 230 receiving yards this past week. The all-time record for a season is 570 yards, which was set by her in 2020. I bet she'll probably say that's the year I won, so it doesn't make a difference. Well, whatever. All-time season most receiving yards, 5,114 yards by Chiefs Texans in 2019. The least amount of receiving yards this week, Booty Sweat, at 76 receiving yards. Very low. All-time record is 0 by bye week, which a long time ago. But the season all-time record for lowest points was set at 76, so that's a new record. Field goals. Booty Sweat only had 4 field goals this week. I'm sorry, the most field goals. Booty Sweat had 4. All-time record single week is 6. So they were 2 off the record, which is held by Seminoles, which is no longer plays, and I Like Honey Bun.
I like Honey Buns too.
Yeah. The all-time record is 36 in a season. 36 field goals in a season. The least amount of field goals this week was 1 by Royal Shocker and Donnie's Chiefs. Royal Shocker had a bad week, and a lot of these least amount of stuff going on.
Hey, I'm on this list.
Yeah, everybody's on that list. That's because we all got 0 field goals 1 week.
Why is that?
Bench points. Yeah, we all just something happened. Different times in the year. It was all in 2023.
Players boycotting. That's what happened.
Clearly, because it was all in 2023. Week 9, week 16, week 4, week 6, week 14, week 8, 4, 1, 4, and 3. Terrible week that week for kickers and field goals. But the all-time record is 1. The lowest amount is 1. All right, so that's all for that. Again, we addressed the kicker situation. Stay on the lookout for the standings. Make sure there's not any updates in these point totals. You know, I'm trying to look and see to make sure they ain't done anything just yet. Stat corrections is what I'm looking for. Stat corrections. No stat corrections listed right now. Let me go back to week 2. No stat corrections for week 1. You won fair and square.
Yep.
The last thing we're going to go over, league pick'ems, aka long draw pick'ems. Last week results. Where's my group at? Group.
You can create a super journal.
Oh my goodness! Let me see them. Trying to see who's the winner. Okay, so 15 points. Royal Shocker. 15 points. They missed one game. They took one loss. Riley Love Shear had 14 points. They missed 2 games.
Really?
Fire Pit Fumbler had 13 points. They missed 3 games. Top Picks had 12 points. They missed 4 games. And then Alpa, I can't see it, Chino had 9 and 7. They lost 7 games. So that is currently going on. If you haven't had a chance to, you can go in there and join now. The group is still open. We'd like to have everybody participate. Let me know in the chat if you all want to have a little compensation added to that. We can all chip in and put a couple dollars in there.
I'll say it on the video.
See it.
Come on, dude. Come on, dog.
Couple of dollars to chip in so the winner can get something at the end. We'll talk about that offline. If y'all want to do that.
Yeah. Of course.
Let me know your comments, your questions, your concerns. Trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, there's one other thing. I want to see if I can pull it up here fast. I'm going to pause the video and come right back to you. Okay, we're back. Sorry for that little delay. You all didn't see it. It won't be edited out. So, standings. Team rankings. This is something we're going to add in a little bit. So right now, currently, this may be currently what it was last week. I don't remember what it was last week now. But they have Booty Sweat at the top, followed by Royal Shocker. I Don't Like Cheer. I Like Honey Buns. Team Waller. Chiefs Texans. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Fire Pit Fumblers. Donnie Chiefs. And Riley Love Shear. That's the team rankings right now. The projected standings. We'll go from the bottom. Riley Love Shear is in 10th place. She's predicted to finish 6-9, even though she won this week, with a 12% chance of making the playoffs. Donnie Chiefs lost last week with a 14% chance. But finished also 6-9, 14% chance of making the playoffs. Sorry, Miss Jackson predicted to finish 7-8 with a 24% chance of making the playoffs. Royal Shocker 7-8 with a 32% chance of making the playoffs. I Like Honey Buns finished 7-8 with a 33% chance of making the playoffs. Fire Pit Fumbler finished 7-8 with a 34% chance of making the playoffs. Chiefs Texans 8-7 with a 44% chance of making the playoffs. Team Waller 8-7 with a 45% chance of making the playoffs. I Don't Like Cheer 9-6.
You should change it to I Don't Like Gymnastics.
With a 77% chance of making the playoffs. Booty Sweat 10-5 with a 85% chance of making the playoffs. So that is the ranking. The projected standings going forward. We'll be giving those stats going over each week. Those standings are different than who's will be in the playoffs if this started. Oh, you didn't make the playoffs. You didn't like those numbers, huh?
No.
Okay.
I don't like the name.
Oh, you don't like the name?
I don't care about the standings. That doesn't mean anything.
It does not.
12% is a lot. 12% is a lot.
Mm-hmm. And if the playoffs started today, it'd be 100% because you'll be in.
Yes.
So, that being said, judge yourself accordingly. Last thing before we close out here, this is almost 30 minutes. I think all but 2 people have paid their league fees. So, I'm going to add the link again after this video, or probably before the video. Pay your league fees. The deadline was today, technically, but I think that league sake may let you have a couple more days. If send out emails and messages. If you need to send me the money Cash App so I can pay it online, you can do that. But you need to get your league fees paid so we can get this going on to the rest of the season. Hope you all enjoyed the first week of matchups. There is a game on Thursday, of course. I think Dolphins and Bills. Josh Allen and all that. Tariq Hill.
They're both bums.
We want to thank you all for joining us on The Desk. We have the Philly and Riley that's on injured reserve.
R&B.
R&B.
No squared.
No squared. We will see y'all next week. I believe Roshacker might be here. I'm not sure. We have to check her schedule, see if she's under the weather. Other than that, thank y'all for joining us. Thank you for joining The Desk. We'll see y'all next week. Peace out.